This hour has 22 minutes.
Good evening. It's day 10 of the 17th Winter Olympics, and of course, thousands of journalists from around the world were in Norway for the opening of the Games. Our very own J.B. Dixon was there, and he was honored in a very special way.
No, it was no big deal.
Hank, let's run that clip of J.B. for the folks at home.
I would like to say hello to the billions of people that are watching me live around the world. I have never been so proud to be a Canadian than at this moment. And as the world's only media representative actually partaking in the opening ceremonies, I carry this torch proudly. This is the greatest moment of my life. I will not let you down.
My God, J.B., that was quite a spill.
No, it wasn't that bad. 1 minute I was just up, and the next minute I was down. No big deal.
The holy festival of Ramadan, the most spiritually significant time of the year for the world's 1 billion Muslims, began last week. To kick off the celebrations, a bunch of holy Islamic radicals in Algeria threatened to murder a number of butchers for jacking up the prices on meat. Because as everyone knows, the price of meat goes right through the roof during Ramadan. So right on, boys. I mean, it's a stressful time. It's Lent for Catholics who can't eat candy except for fudge. And it has to be the really hard kind. I hate that mushy stuff. That's not fudge. You have to drop it off the edge of a spoon into cold water and it has to form a ball. But it'll soon be Easter when the Easter Bunny comes out of his tomb, proving that there is eternal life, which is good, because it's going to take an eternity to burn off all that fudge.
A $5 billion settlement was proposed last week by the manufacturers of silicone breast implants. The implants, which have been known to rupture, have been blamed for cancer, immune system disorders, and arthritis. But according to their manufacturers, the breast implants are totally safe. I guess the people who make breast implants, Dow Corning, Bristol-Myers Squibb, and Baxter International, are just making this big $5 billion out-of-court settlement out of the goodness of their hearts. America, what a land of opportunity. What a great place. You can have perfectly safe, huge gazubas and lots of money, too. Gosh, what nice guys.
You know, Molly, I knew a woman who had those breast implants, and I'm telling you, arthritis in both hands.
Air Canada released their financial report for 1993. They showed a loss of over $326 million. But there is some good news. Several pieces of luggage lost by travelers in the late 70s have finally been found in a warehouse in Anchorage, Alaska.
In international news, a trade war is developing between the United States of America and Japan. Last week, Japanese Prime Minister Morihiro Hasakawa reneged on a promise to allow U.S.-made cellular phones to be sold in Japan. President Clinton fought back. Clinton called his people, who called their people, who called his people, who then called their people, who called his people, who called the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The Fresh Prince put his foot down and threatened to impose tariffs on Japanese goods sold in the USA. The result? A stronger U.S. dollar, a weaker Japanese yen. Feel good. The president celebrated round one of the trade war with an impromptu gathering on the White House lawn. President Clinton, the new king of late-night foreign policy.
Now on video, the many moods of Jean Chrétien. Who can forget the stirring patriotic strains of
Canada is for me and will always be #1.
Or the famous dead-on comic triple take that took the NATO conference by storm. And of course, the heart-wrenching I am bloody but unbowed theme that brought a whole party to its knees.
I've been in the depths so many times in my political career. You know, the press buried me 10 times in my life, and I came back.
And then the classic all-time favorite, the humor that will warm the caucus of your heart.
I know that I've been in Ottawa too long when I come to Toronto for the warm climate.
Not available in stores. For your copy, call the Prime Minister's office anytime. Operators are standing by.
We go now to Lillehammer, Norway, for a special report from foreign correspondent Tim McMillan. Hello, Tim.
Hello!
Tim, can you tell us what it's like to be in Lillehammer in the middle of Olympic fever?
No!
And why is that, Tim?
Well, I didn't really want to go to Norway. I really don't like the cold that much. I always get dry skin and nosebleeds. And then I accidentally ended up on the wrong flight. Instead of flight 896 to Norway, I was on flight 869 to Rio de Janeiro. A monkey could have made that mistake.
So you're not actually in Norway?
No. You know, I don't really like the Olympics anyway. Those athletes are always so competitive. I think I'm just going to stay down here. It's so warm. You don't have to wear winter clothes. Everything's so laid back. I'm wearing shorts as we speak. There's people singing, marching bands. It's like one big scout jamboree.
So am I to assume you're not actually going to the Olympics, Tim?
I can't quite hear you. There's a marching band going by. I gotta go. I signed up to be on a float. I'm gonna be dressed as King Neptune. Oh, Mike Duffy's here. We're in the same hotel. I tell you, the guy doesn't stop. He's like an athlete. He's got so much energy. The drums are too loud. Gotta go. Hasta la vista.
Hasta la vista, Tim. That was Olympic Report with Tim McMillan.
Marina Bobbin has been dating again. But apparently her aim is off. Her new boyfriend, a young man of artistic temperament, is resting peacefully in a Virginia hospital.
She's Canada's newest sweetheart. Here's this hour's very own Margaret Delahunty.
Hi, I'm Margaret Delahunty. Well, when I saw the great one, Wayne Gretzky, skate up to deliver a Domino pizza on the TV the other night, you could have beamed me in the head with a hockey puck. Let's face it, none of us are above a bit of curb crawling to get a few extra shekels to put some spare spondulics in the pocketbook. But I mean, Gretzky is the great one. It's not like he's the mediocre one, well, he could do a lot better one. He's the cat's meow and the dog's bow wow of hockey. He didn't have to sell his soul to a pizza joint, did he? Am I wrong? Or isn't there a special circle of hell reserved for people with talent who use it to procure sales for some third-rate, dunchy 12-inch fully dressed pizza pie? Get a bit of self-respect, great one. What's next? Mother Teresa hawking tea towels? We're all at it. Dancing to the tune of the almighty cash register, from the feeding frenzy at the great pork barrel in Ottawa to our noble Olympic athletes, tongues hanging out, chests heaving, just panting to get their hands on that endorsement loot. Ooh, the lolly! Money, 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 money! What said Mom much once more? And now everyone, from the Bushmen of Borneo to the bozos on Bay Street, including the Baymen of Badger, can be bought and sold for a dime. What do you think? Barbara Ann Scott? Or is it Sonia Hemme?
This hour has 22 minutes is proud to present media pundits Stuart Steed and Steve Steele with The Right Answer. Men, we salute you.
Okay, let's start it all off with Ottawa announces plans to change the word God to higher power in the House of Commons prayer.
What is this, Parliament or an AA meeting? Higher power? What's next? Black Mass before question period? Parliamentary channel plagued by 0 ratings.
Hey, it's the much music generation. Solution, more zip. Boys wear muscle shirts. Girls wear short shorts.
Jag Baduria in a tank top? Yeah, I'd take a look, but call me old-fashioned. I like a freak show.
Ethel Blondin in a leather bustier? I can hear the wedding drums now. Canadian stamps featuring Canadian flag made in Australia.
Have you ever met an Australian? They're drunk. It's a penal colony.
They're the offspring of prisoners. And we're going to trust them with their stamps? I won't be licking them.
Paul McCartney turns down $30 million US for Beatle reunion.
For $30 million, I'd date Sheila Copps.
Heck, for $30 million, I'd marry Sheila Copps.
Let's not be rash. It is only $30 million.
You do have a point. Oliver North heads for U.S. Senate.
If I was a woman, I'd marry that soldier.
Land that immigrant, bring him home.
Pay his way to the House of Commons.
Prime Minister Oliver North.
Something about a man in uniform. I like it.
You got it.
Books.
I wrote one.
So did I.
I'll show you mine.
You show me yours.
You first.
Ah, shucks. Here it is. Just in time for year end, 1001 loopholes, or thanks for the yacht.
And my recent release, How to Make $1 Million Off the Poor.
How do you make $1 million off the poor?
Basically, you sell them crap. Ask Honest Ed.
And that's the right answer.
To order, send $26.95 American to Box 4500, Cayman Islands, Grand Cayman.
Every time you turn on the TV now, the TV experts are talking about the 500-channel universe. And without fail, they always ask the same question. Do we really need 500 TV channels? What are these people, nuts? Does anyone ever say, do we really need 500 new books in the library? No. And you know very well, if you ask anyone over the age of 40 if they want 500 extra channels, they're going to say no. These people do not know how to operate a VCR. They think that the answering machine is broken once the tape runs out. See, to them, 500 TV channels, all it means is a remote control that they will never fully understand. But to me, 500 new TV channels, well, that means we're 500 little tiny steps closer to unlocking the secrets of the universe. And will people watch these new specialty channels? Well, people watch the Weather Channel. Who knew? And God knows, enough people have sat back and watched TV experts talk about how there's too much TV on TV. I'd say there's a pretty good chance that if the Three's Company channel, say, was up and running on the other station, well, people just might tune in to watch Janet, Jack, and Chrissy fall over that couch a couple of times. I mean, hey, that's good television.
In Oslo, Norway, the National Museum was broken into and thieves made away with the world-famous oil painting, Edvard Munch's The Scream. The Art Gallery of Ontario also had a theft recently. However, it was a much less valuable work, the John Crosby portrait entitled The Grunt.
And now, with her very unique view on the crazy world of communications, here's this hour's Sandy Campbell.
I'm Sandy Campbell, and I'll tell you what's crazy. Communication. And I'm not talking about telling someone where your back's itchy and that's where you want it scratched. Oh, no. I'm talking about fax machines. Fax machines. I can't quite fathom that particular miracle, can you? That I could put a piece of paper in a machine, and a few seconds later it could turn out on a machine in Japan. Did the Japanese people think that up? Cute as buttons and sharp as tacks, that crowd. For a long time, I thought you could fax a piece of cake or a sweater to someone. Wouldn't it be great if you could fax your lips to someone, they could kiss them, and fax them back to you? Of course, what if someone came to the door while you were there without your lips on? Or what if the power went out and your mouth was stuck in cyberspace? Oh, geez, don't get me started on cyberspace. I was hoping hubby would install more cyberspace in the rec room for coolers and skates and stuff. Do you know how many fax machines there are worldwide? Neither do I. Lots. Okay, I'm not a total dummy. I know you can only fax flat stuff, but I don't see why that should preclude pastry. Like my sister in Poughkeepsie is terrible at pastry, and I'm a pro. Voila! Perfect pies every time via fax. What I'd like to see are 3D faxes. Say someone admires something at your house, you can just say, I'll fax you one, and then you still have your own. It'd be a boost to generosity like Prozac is to confidence. I'm wondering why fax material doesn't collide in space. But then again, I don't know why birds suddenly appear every time you are near. that's it. I'm Sandy Campbell. See you next time.
The MP for Markham, Jag Bedoria, is looking for work. Faced with his imminent ouster from Parliament, this hour has learned that Mr. Bedoria has compiled an audition tape and forwarded it to Sony Music for consideration. In our continuing role of breaking news, this hour has obtained exclusive footage of the demo.
I tell you, I can never be as smart. I can never be as smart. I can never be as smart, even if I cut my brain. 3 times. Yes, I took the fall. I took the fall. I took the fall. Yes, I took the fall. 3 times. Hands up, I give up.
That man is funky.
It's been an unusually cold winter so far, so tonight we welcome our newest correspondent with her weather for seniors, the lovely Mrs. Enid.
Oh my, the weather. You don't know what to be wearing. But you want to put on a sweater underneath your overcoat, because then you might stop into the sweet shop for a sandwich, and then you want to take off your coat. So say someone comes along then and opens up the door coming in, you're going to get a chill if you don't have your sweater on. And you'll be all night then trying to warm up. And then, like I said, you want to have a chicken sandwich and a cup of tea and a date square or a bun and a few chips. But you want to mind the time, because you don't want to be out after 4 o'clock, see? Because you might miss your story. And then after that, it's bitter cold out. It's enough to freeze you after the sun goes down. Oh my, the weather. You want to have a nice scarf up around your chin and a hanky up your sleeve to catch the drips. And you don't want to be waiting for the bus all day unless there's a shelter. And even that is pretty cold. It freezes the ankles right off you. But you can forget about calling a taxi up to Frank's place, because they're either just on the phone or just off it. But considering some people beat senior citizens, you don't say boo. Now, you want to have something good on your feet. So you wear your galoshes or your gaiters or your flat rubbers so you won't slip. Whatever you're used to, maybe a bit of a heel. Because I usually fall down, but I'm telling you, some lovely young fellas usually pick me up. Now, mind out the ice falling off the roof of the courthouse down there. And go on into Woolworths for a ball of wool so you can get started on that tablecloth for little ones getting married there this summer. And you want to be invited to that, so you don't say anything about the funny-looking young fella she's going out with. But my God, did you ever see a face like that? Can of worms, what? Now, the moral of the weather is, go get Nan, pick her up, take her downtown and wait for her. Don't be so ignorant.
The city of Toronto will finally get their long-awaited national basketball franchise. Ontario Premier Bob Rae announced that the search was now on to find a name for the new team. Rae, a well-known socialist, has made several suggestions himself, including the Bloor Street Bourgeoisie, the Metro Materialists, and the Kensington Market Workers' Party People's Basketball Team. That last one's got quite a nice ring to it.
Well, tomorrow, Canada will have a new budget. Details are traditionally shrouded in secrecy, but we're going to beat them at their own game. We've invited this hour's metaphysical technicians, Gertie Lou and Gail Ann Sphinxler of Brooklyn Heights, New York, to let the cat out of the bag. Well, the Mrs. Sphinxlers, what can you tell us about Paul Martin's budget?
She's Gail Ann.
She's Gertie Lou.
And we're twins.
I see, that's lovely. So what can we expect in tomorrow's budget?
Well, in the 94 Canadian budget, the Liberals are going to be very conservative over their expenditures.
Yes, but what can you tell us about the budget, the overall shape?
Square.
Oh, I'm losing my mind, bitches.
That's high, JB. We need a trim.
And that's gonna cost you extra. Rhythm, of course, JB, is essential for any kind of trim.
From the Vampire Dykes to New Haven.
To the lesbian channelers of Pancho Villa. You won't find any of those girls trancing without first they find an astral rhythm. finance minister dancing a mad merengue, a cold-blooded shuffle to cut Canada's deficit.
And at the same time, the hot, steamy mamba to entice the economy back on its feet.
Oh, they're tripping over their feet the whole way! Disaster! Basically, JB, whatever they said they weren't gonna do in the elections, that's what they're gonna do tomorrow.
I don't know if we needed a psychic to tell us that exactly. Do you have any advice for Canadians for the coming fiscal year?
Well, it's the year of the fiscal dog, so you want to get a leg up on your RRSP.
Dig up those receipts and bury those bogus expenses.
Lick the wounds of your losses.
Oh, yeah, and chew through the fence to dig up the flowers in the new fiscal year. You are beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. Words to live by.
Thank you, JB.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Good night.
I love him. I love you.
Well, that's the way we saw the world this week. For all of us here at This Hour Has 22 Minutes, I'm Sydney Jabijanchik saying good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye. If your brother-in-law called you up and said, like, if you got a couple of $100, you want to turn in a couple of thousand, he came by and he gave him a couple of hundred, and you know what he was doing, but you don't really know what he was doing, he took it away and he came back with a couple of thousand, is that under the capital gains exemption, or they got to claim that?
I think they're cutting down right on that altogether, Denny. Yeah.
They're clamping right down.
Yeah. They're cutting down on all the exemptions, and they're upping the cops, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Is the tinfoil that I use to wrap up all the hash, is that tax deductible?
I don't know.
Is it a legitimate business expense?
I would say it is.
Yeah.
Jeez, he goes through an awful lot of tinfoil over there.
Yeah.
I'm keeping Alcan in business.
Yeah. Another fella besides Dagbadoria got his, whatever thing he's lying or something. Did you read about that,
on his resume. They're all in the fit now for lying on the resume.
And the resume. Right. He was embellishing that.
Yeah, he was embellishing. They should check our member of parliament, because she claims she got her grade 11. I don't think she does.
Oh, wait, Danny, how do you know that?
I went to school with her, sure.
So she's twice your age, my dear.
She was 26 in grade 9.